this because then when you're an independent now.
Yeah.
So what does that say? That to me, it says that you think the Republican Party is unsavable.
Unsavable. Oh, no doubt about it.
Because otherwise you would want to stay on, right, and reform it, but you think it
can't be saved.
It cannot be saved.
I've never argued with that. I've never argued that of a false equivalency. I just said there is misinformation from both sides.
Well,
no, I lived through COVID. Don't tell me there wasn't misinformation.
But there's a difference between...
I lived through stupid policies based on bad information and stifled information.
Joe Scarborough just had a total meltdown on live TV, and it wasn't pretty. What started as a heated late-night segment quickly turned into chaos, and Scarborough practically moonwalked off set like he had somewhere better to be. And who sparked the whole mess? None other than Bill Maher. When Maher is done with you, you know it. He took Scarborough's latest hot take on Trump and shredded it like old junk mail. The moment Maher clapped back, you could actually see Joe start to spiral. 1 second he was ranting, the next he looked like he forgot where he was. Viewers were left staring at the screen like, wait, did that really just happen?
That he was going to use the military and the National Guard to arrest his political opponents. He was asked if he would back off of that.
He said no.
And he said no. Yep. In fact, he doubled down. He talked about Nancy Pelosi being evil, her husband being evil, Schiff being evil, talking about arresting them. He said he was going to execute the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff because he was disloyal to him. He told another chief of staff who was a general, I wish my generals were like Hitler's.
Donald Trump recently said he would use the military and National Guard to go after his political opponents. When asked if he'd reconsider, he flat out said no and actually doubled down on it. He went on to call Nancy Pelosi, her husband, and Adam Schiff evil and talked about having them arrested. He even said he wanted to execute the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff for being disloyal. And in a conversation with one of his chiefs of staff, a general, Trump reportedly said, I wish my generals were like Hitler's generals.
Information from the left, but comparing it to what Donald Trump spews
I
out
agree.
every day, every week, comparing it to what Elon Musk is spewing out, unfortunately, on X, you sound like Brett Stevens now, with all due respect. It's a joke. That's a real-time.
And you sound like him, who looks like Rachel Maddow.
But you understand what I'm saying.
I've never argued with that. I've never argued that of a false equivalency. I just said there is misinformation from both sides. No, I lived through COVID. Don't tell me there wasn't misinformation.
But there's a difference between...
I lived through stupid policies based on bad information and stifled information.
But intent matters.
That's what Zuckerberg said. He said they were...
So what exactly did Scarborough say that set this off? And how did Maher cut through it like butter with a hot make? Let's break it down. It's like we're stuck in a never-ending Trump loop. Trump Derangement Syndrome is alive and well, and Scarborough is its poster child. The guy can't seem to handle the fact that Trump was ever president. Instead of moving on, he's out here twisting words and pushing wild narratives just to keep the drama alive. This time, his take on Trump's recent comments was so off base. Maher had to step in. Scarborough's version? Pure outrage, zero context. He didn't even mention what Trump actually said in full, just cherry-picked pieces to stir the pot. And Maher wasn't letting it slide. He saw right through it and called it out live. That moment, Scarborough looked stunned, like he realized his argument had nothing behind it. This wasn't just sloppy, it was strategic. Leaving out key context wasn't a mistake, it was the plan. And Maher, he shut it down cold.
You consider yourself a liberal, right?
I consider myself an old school liberal. You have to make that distinction now because, you know, the word woke, which started out as a good thing, being alert to injustice, and a lot of people get triggered by the word because when they hear it, they think of it the old meaning, which was good.
Right.
You know, stay woke. But I'm sorry, language is a living, breathing entity. Words change and they migrate and they take on a different meaning. And woke now has to answer for, or for people have just used the word to ascribe a number of...
This wasn't sloppy, it was slick. Scarborough's edit job had one goal, stir outrage, and keep the anti-Trump machine screaming on all cylinders. It's not just misleading, it's manipulative. The kind of spin designed to trap viewers in a loop of anger where the truth doesn't even matter. Just clicks, chaos, and non-stop outrage. And this trick, it's not new. Twist the context, sell the drama, flood the headlines with half-truths that spread like wildfire. As Bill Maher bluntly put it, it's projection 101. The same people crying about Trump's rhetoric are out here doing the exact same thing, just wearing nicer suits. MSNBC's mastered the art of selective outrage. Remember the Russia collusion saga? Rachel Maddow milked it like a Netflix series, and it fizzled. Or the Hunter Biden laptop. Branded disinfo, confirmed real later. Or the Fine People hoax? They ran with it while ignoring the full transcript. When the truth comes out, crickets. No retractions, no apologies. But when Trump so much as breathes sideways, they lose their minds. That's not journalism, it's a full-blown strategy. Control what people think, who they hate, and keep the outrage dial to max.
Win over the undecided voters is to convince them that she's not part of what they suspect she might be, sort of a stealth version of the worst excesses of the left. I said there's a coalition of Trump voters, people who really like him. They certainly are those. And then there's people who don't necessarily like him that much, but they still think he's less crazy than stuff that strikes them as aggressively anti-common sense.
Right.
That takes place on the left.
Right. So
that's why they keep running that ad about sex changes in prison. You know, like, could you...
And every football game.
Could you get... Every football game. Could you get more third-rail words into one sentence?
The goal's simple. Keep people mad at Trump so no one questions the media's own mess. If networks like MSNBC ever had to admit they twisted facts and served drama as news, they'd have to admit they're no better than the man they demonize. Now here's where Maher kind of misses it. He acts like wokeness is just a loud minority online. Nah, that stuff's everywhere now. It's not fringe, it is the system. It's in Hollywood, politics, schools, newsrooms, baked in, top to bottom. And Scarborough, silent when Maher called it out, because deep down he knows. The outrage, the censorship, the identity politics, that's not coming from the sidelines. It's coming from the top. And Kamala? She's not just brushing up against that system. She is the system. Her whole campaign was backed by celebrities and soft media coverage, while Trump got roasted nonstop. No pushback, no real questions, no accountability. So let's stop pretending this is some rogue movement. Wokeness isn't underground, it's center stage. And if we're ever gonna fix the mess, we need real leaders who focus on what actually matters. The economy, safety, healthcare, not just the next viral outrage.
Understand you benefited from racism if you're white. There's no doubt about it. And that has to be addressed. It can't be ignored.
Right.
But also, I didn't personally do it. There's a middle ground there. It's very difficult.
Two things can be true at one time.
And they are both true at one time.
Right.
I'm not personally responsible, but did I benefit? Yes, I'm sure I did. People our age definitely did.
Right.
And so, if we can all agree on things like that, we could then come up with sensible...
Let's be real. Racism is still a serious issue. But fixing it takes real long-term work. Not hashtags, not viral buzzwords. Real strategy, real reform. Instead, we're getting politics as performance. DI sounds good, but in practice, it's been a mess. Jobs lost, tension rising, public safety ignored. All because ideology took the wheel and common sense got thrown out. And Maher's biggest truth bomb. The people yelling loudest about progress won't even admit we've made any. Racism isn't gone, but acting like it's still the 1960s is just false. We've made big moves, from desegregation to full representation. But crisis sells better than progress, so they stick to the script. That's the game. Outrage over honesty, drama over facts.
Because it interferes with virtue signaling.
Right.
To say, we've come a long way, which we have.
It's okay to say that.
It's okay to say it, but somehow you're a better person if you say, but there's work to be done. Of course there's work to be done. There's always work to be done. We're humans. We're on Earth. There's always going to be work to be done. But
recognizing progress doesn't erase the problems. It just means you're being honest. But for the far left, admitting things have improved feels like betrayal. So they cling to doom because doom sells. Let's be blunt. For some, victimhood is profitable. Keeping people divided isn't just a strategy, it's a business model. Folks like Whoopi, Sunny Hostin, and Don Lemon don't just report drama, their brands depend on it. Anger keeps the views rolling, and unity, that's bad for business. While regular people move forward, these media figures hit replay on the same tired talking points. They don't celebrate progress, they bury it. Why? Because if people actually felt hopeful, their clicks and paychecks might dry up. Bottom line, outrage sells. Peace doesn't. And that's why it never ends.
What does that say? That, to me, it says that you think the Republican Party is unsavable.
Unsavable. Oh, no doubt about it.
Because otherwise you would want to stay on, right, and reform it, but you think
it can't be saved.
It cannot be saved.
Trump's list of wins is long, from policies that revived communities to international deals that actually held other countries accountable. The evidence is there, but admitting his success would shatter the narrative some people want to push. And that's the problem, isn't it? When facts don't fit the story, they're ignored. While others were searching for safe Republican candidates, Trump took control and flipped the script. After 2 decades of losses, he won big with swagger, strategy, and a real connection to the people. His victory wasn't just narrow, it was a political demolition. The MAGA movement didn't just show up, it steamrolled through. This was more than a win. It was a message to the elites who thought the people would stay quiet. It's a referendum on weak leadership and out-of-touch politics. The media tried to spin it, but the people saw through it. They rejected the lies and the double standards. Trump didn't just win. He reminded everyone who has the power to lead. The silent majority isn't so silent anymore. They delivered a political smackdown no one will forget. So, Joe, get ready. Trump's not just back, he's back with a vengeance. The America First agenda is locked and loaded for round 2. What's coming next will shake up the political map. This isn't just a movement, it's a storm, and it's not slowing down. Drop a like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next bombshell. Thanks for riding with us. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay sharp.